Live broadcast. All right, I think we're live on Facebook. First time ever for Great USB Jerky. Woo, woo, woo. All right, guys, I wanted to introduce you. You guys, if you've gone to our website, you've seen this amazing photo. It's now become a sticker, a nice little inspirational get out there for the hungry and adventurous. And one of the things I love about this photo is it's just full of so much like inspiration and like exhilaration and like all the possibilities as you look out across this amazing expanse of wilderness and the mountains and what trail should I explore, what activities, am I going to come across, all this great stuff. And some people have wondered, is that Kate? No, it's not Kate. It is my dear friend here, Jenny Wireman. Say hi.
Hi.
She has become sort of not really the face because you can only see the back of her head, but she's become the iconic picture here of Great USB Jerky. And I just wanted to introduce you guys to her a little bit because she's not just a pretty face. She is freaking talented, you guys, in terms of professionally and also, in terms of getting out there and being active. So let's dive into it real quick. I, was lucky enough to have you come on board with this little project here of, taking some photos and whatnot and helping out with, the tech side of things. But it turns out you're also a fellow beef jerky lover. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. I keep them at hand.
Thank you. What a coincidence. I do too. Yeah. So, I'm curious, like, what is it that you like about beef jerky? Is it from a health perspective or just because it's so easy because you're so busy?
Oh, I mean, there's many things I like. I mean, one, I just love the taste of beef jerky. It is, yeah, it's savory and sometimes it can be sweet or spicy. I mean, there's just a lot of really good flavor complexities in jerky, but also it's really portable. You can take it with you. You don't have to worry about, refrigeration or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's nutritious. I'm a fairly active person, so I like to have a bit of protein and whatnot, and it's a perfect source for that. So, yeah.
I agree. That was a big part of my inspiration too. Back in the cubicle days of corporate America, I was like, I need some good, healthy snacks, because it's easy to reach for, chips and crackers and cookies, but, you need something healthy. You need some protein to really fuel the brain and help you perform at your best. And, something, especially if you're, working throughout the day or going out on your treks outside, like something that's just easy to grab and go. You don't need to spend half an hour preparing. So it's great for that. So yeah.
Just throw it in your bag. That's what I do.
Exactly. So I want to get into something, you guys, this is super cool. Jenny is a scientist, but not just any scientist. Like, she's a really cool scientist. And she works for the SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory over there at Stanford. And this is pretty amazing. If you guys ever go check it out, go check out the SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory. I mean, it'll blow your mind. It's incredible stuff. But could you tell us a little bit about what you do as a scientist?
Absolutely. So I consider myself a biophysicist. And what that means is that I take what I know in physics and I like to apply it to biological problems. And one of the ways that I like to do this is in looking at the shape of proteins. So like what they look like. And this isn't just like proteins like what you find in your beef jerky, but proteins in, for instance, coronavirus or so there's all these proteins that make up life, and their shape really kind of tells you a little bit about what they do. And then how they move. So we use high-powered X-rays to look at the atomic resolution structures. This is down to like the atoms, tiny things that make up the proteins. So
That's crazy. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Does anyone ever kind of, bring sort of an analogy to you as like the guys in the Big Bang Theory? Like all this high level stuff where they're like, they just, I mean, you deal with such like incredible topics that, most of us are like,
Yeah, The Big Bang Theory it's a cute show, and it definitely has, pokes fun at scientists a little bit, but there's some truth in there too, right? And what we really like to do is try to find ways to tell the story of our science. And that's really a fun skill to have. And The Big Bang Theory kind of does that, but I really like cultivating that story, behind what
Yeah,
we do.
yeah. Well, and I got onto the website here for the Slack, and it was so cool about how they explore the universe, how it works, the biggest, the smallest, the fastest scales. They invent powerful tools that are used by scientists around the globe. And, they open new windows to the natural world and build a brighter future through scientific discovery. I mean, it kind of, the mind just goes, wow, it's like there's so many potentials, and that's cool when you really look into what they do and they look at like the cosmos and of course the natural world and um
Um,
gosh,
it's so cool. There's so many people at the laboratory that study, microwave background and cosmic stuff, and then that look at things even smaller than what I look at. So I look at an atom, and there's people that look at what makes up atoms, so it's this massive scale.
wow.
It's truly inspiring to work around such people.
No kidding, no kidding. And we know that, we all know that I think the brain uses a good 20% of the calories you consume, so it's very good to give the brain some quality calories.
Yeah, this is perfect for the middle of the night fueling too.
Oh, there you go. So now on to our next side of Jenny. Jenny seems you're an avid outdoors person, is that right? In fact, you guys, when I say you guys, like you and your husband, I know you guys do some crazy like long distance runs out on the trails. Like what kinds of outdoor activities are you into?
Oh, I absolutely love trail running and kind of the slower version of hiking as well. We like backpacking, but we just really like getting out and seeing how far we can go. And we love going to places that you just have like vistas, so as you can tell in the picture.
And where was this trip? Where the picture was taken?
So that was a pretty epic trip. So the picture itself is taken on the Olympic Peninsula on Hurricane Ridge. And so this is at the very top of the Washington State Peninsula. And that's actually steps away from where Adam had proposed to me.
No
so
way.
It's a very special, and this is my husband, so a very special place for us is on this ridge line. But that was a pretty epic trip. Did a lot of really awesome outdoor stuff.
You got some like amazing energy in this spot. No wonder the photo came out so good.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And did you guys, you did some like crazy amount of trail running, like 30 miles in a day or something like that?
Yeah,
is that right?
So a couple days before that, we ran around Mount St. Helens, which was about 34 miles. And we did that in one go. It took us quite a few hours, but
oh
yeah.
My gosh. You guys are hardcore. That's awesome. I love it. Oh, Lord. So, let's see. So you get out there, and that's one of the things that, for me, I was actually really inspired. It was during a trip in 2018 to Rocky Mountain National Park when we were out on the trails, and I was like, I need some beef. And I didn't have any because of poor planning, but that's where really a lot of the inspiration for this started. And so I can imagine, as you guys are out and about, like it must be so handy to have something like this, to help give you some fuel and not weigh you down too much. And aren't you guys also doing some kayaking now too? You're getting out doing kayaking?
Yeah, we are. Part of the wonderful part about the pandemic has been the ability to be outdoors, right? So we really cultivated kind of our outdoor spirit. So we've been hiking and kayaking, and yeah. So
that's so awesome. That's so awesome. I mean, that's one thing that I really wanted to help like inspire people too. It's like this is such a classic jerky, a classic snack to take with you on outdoor adventures, and it's just to help inspire people to get out there and explore and have fun and try new things. I mean, maybe backpacking's not for everybody, but a good day of hiking is, or you never know, maybe you do like running 40 miles in a day. I don't know. That's awesome. So now, being that you're connected here to Great U.S. Beef Jerky, and one of the tenets of us only using U.S. beef is our great love and appreciation for the U.S. farmers and ranchers. It truly is. It's interesting as I talk to people, even though only 2% of the US population is directly involved in agriculture, as I talk to people, I find that there's a lot of people who maybe have had, friends or family that are involved in it. So I'm just curious, do you personally know any farmers or ranchers?
Oh, yes, I do. So
Yeah.
on my family side of things, my family before my dad's generation were all farmers. So my family is farmers, but then I married my husband and his family are ranchers in Oklahoma. So I have been on a ranch and I have been chased by cows.
That brings up a good point for all y'all who don't know. I mean, ranching and farming can actually be quite a dangerous job. Seriously. I personally have met, a ranching couple. It was a ranch manager and his wife had a nasty experience with a bull who just, everything seemed fine until it wasn't, and he ended up breaking her leg. I mean, it can be real dangerous. So, another reason why I truly love and appreciate our farmers and ranchers, because, just imagine going to work every day and being like, today I could get seriously hurt, I mean, yes, I'm sure our policemen and our firefighters, they have that very realization, but a lot of people, we just go to the office, you don't think much of it, but it can be a crazy job. For sure.
It was really eye-opening to be on the ranch and actually see, see and meet the cows, but then also to kind of see, the scale of the operation, how much space, and it was just really cool.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you got a chance to see all that and appreciate it. That's cool. That's way cool. So now I'm curious, being this amazing scientist, if you were not a scientist, what do you think you'd be doing? Would you be an outdoor guide or?
That's a really interesting question. I think my first thought was, I think I would be a chef.
Ooh, that's right. You are kind of a foodie, aren't you?
I really like food and I really like making food. There's science in cooking, and I think that would be well suited for me if I wasn't a scientist.
Or maybe a food scientist.
Oh, yes, a food
that
scientist.
could be one. I mean, that brings up a whole nother topic, but sometimes people are like, well, how do you get the jerky to have such a long shelf life without using the nitrates and the nitrites? And, in truth, food science has come a long, long ways in many years. And it's just one of those things that sometimes you'll see like, food marketing where they're like, jerky, other companies put so much stuff in there. But the truth is a lot of jerky companies don't even do that anymore because you don't need to. Food science has come a long, long way. So yeah, cool. Here, let's just have a couple of fun, quick questions. What's one skill you wish you could learn?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Good question for a talented person like yourself.
Yeah, no, let's see. A skill that I would really like to learn. I'd really like to be good at watercolors. I'm absolutely terrible. I'm good at impressionistic art, but not at watercolors.
Hey, it's good to balance out the science with the art. That gives the well-rounded persona. I like it. I used to do some watercolor when I was a kid, and I actually got pretty good at it, but I haven't done it in years. So, once I started working, it was all work. But no, that's a good point. Okay, and then here's a fun one. You need to give an hour-long presentation with no preparation. What topic do you choose? I found this a great question for a scientist.
I think that I would choose, or I would give a well, it's easy for me to say my work, right? Because I literally just came out of a conference where I gave an hour-long talk.
There you go.
Let's say that I don't talk about my science. I think I could talk about planning a vacation somewhere for an hour.
Ooh,
right?
There you go.
So if it's about going outdoors, or if it's about going to restaurants or breweries or going to cities and whatnot, I love researching this kind of stuff. And so finding the best foods and finding the best venues and stuff like that, the best trails to go on, I could fill an hour easily.
Oh, you sound like so much fun. I'm going to call you for my next one. Do you have a favorite, region or city that you like to go check out with all this in mind? Sometimes people are like, oh, let's go to Bend, Oregon. It's kind of got the best of both worlds. I like the great downtown with all the foodie scenes and all the outdoor stuff. Anywhere that you find?
The first place that came to mind was Toronto. So Ontario.
Right. Cool.
I would totally go to Toronto again.
There you go. That's awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, we're about to wrap this up. And this is just one thing that you know, with the whole ethos of Great US Beef Jerky, I like to keep things real positive and try to, you know, like I say, you know, help people, inspire people. And I like to, as much as I can, you know, it's good to do something good each day for others as much as you can, you know, and doing good for others is just one of life's true joys. So here's a simple question. If you could pay it forward, what would that look like?
So I love this question so much because it's something that I've been working on for years. And that is that I love to give one person a compliment a day that is just a complete stranger. So somebody
Nice.
that you've never met, and just that little compliment, whatever it is, you know, your smile is gorgeous or something like, well, it's hard now with masks, I suppose. Somebody a compliment and just to kind of see, you know, it's enough of something that'll lift them a little bit, maybe
It's
not a
that
whole lot.
human connection, right? Like I'm recognizing you and I'm appreciating you, and you don't have to be, you know, like the compliment side. You don't have to be picture perfect, you know, to have something wonderful about you. Like I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm definitely a person who loves to give a lot of, you know, thanks and gratitude and just let people know how appreciated they are, and kind of like you know, just acknowledge them, because you never know who needs that, you know, who just needs that little uplift, who needs to know they're not alone, or that there's someone, you know, good out there who at least, you know, says, hey, how are you? You know, I love your blouse. That's a beautiful color today.
Yeah, or appreciates the time that they took to select the hat or whatever it is. You know, people put a lot of time into the, you know, their decisions in life, and just to recognize that, I think is just a beautiful thing.
I love it. I love it. Well, you're a beautiful thing. So thank you so much for joining me today. This has been so much fun, and thanks for being my guinea pig on the first ever Great US Beef Jerky Live. This is great. All right, so we're gonna see a lot more of this. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon, guys. Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. See you soon. I just gotta figure out how to turn this thing off.